let's go. I'ma make a couple stacks, do exactly what I want to. Mix a couple tracks, get a lady that I'm drawn to. Turn up to the max, get it faded till I'm gone, dude. I do what I want, couldn't stop me if you wanted to. I just work hard, yeah, harder than the rest. Some people say I'm lucky, others saying that I'm blessed. But I keep my head down, cause I crave progress. You ain't never gonna stop me, cause it's my conquest. And I'm never gonna rest, yeah. And y'all don't know that I'm a soldier. I always felt like I'm alone, yeah. When everybody thinks they know, yeah. And y'all don't even know I own, yeah. And now I'm ready taking over, cause every day I'm getting closer. Just look at everything I'll show ya. And now I'm ready, I'ma blow up. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. I'm not the type to take no for an answer. I don't deal with people that are like a cancer. No, instead I hang with the people that enhance ya. And I'm not the type to give out second chances. I just wanna work on my own for myself. I don't need no help, not anybody else. Nah, man, I got it dealt. I'm working on my wealth and I'm working on my health. Keep on working to excel, cause I'm working on myself, yeah. And y'all don't know that I'm a soldier. I always felt like I'm alone, yeah. When everybody thinks they know, yeah. And y'all don't even know I own, yeah. And now I'm ready taking over, cause every day I'm getting closer. Just look at everything I'll show ya. And now I'm ready, I'ma blow up. Yeah. Man, I promise that I'm gonna make it somewhere. As long as I'm conscious, I'll be working hard to get there. I am not a novice, I'm gonna be the best, so prepare. Cause you know I'm honest and I'm coming for you, be scared. Man, I promise that I'm gonna make it somewhere. As long as I'm conscious, I'll be working hard to get there. I am not a novice, I'm gonna be the best, so prepare. Cause you know I'm honest and I'm coming for you, be scared. Y'all already know. Yeah. That's right. Y'all better watch out. NFX is on the rise. Yeah. what you think about. But when you're born into a fire, let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To brave, hate is face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To brave, hate is face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Welcome to the Throttle Up Racing Network. Tonight we're back with the Gadgit Solutions Next Gen Cup Series. We are at Talladega, getting ready to do some super speedway racing. Got about a minute and 20 left until qualifying begins. Landon Lacey right now top of the board. He and teammate Brandon Browning 1-2. Quentin Clark, Kevin McCarthy also on that team 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the team to watch throughout the night. a quick look. Our points have reset from last week. Cronenwet, Lacey, McCarthy, Clark, James Fox, Garrett Fox, Wesley Jeanette, and Brandon Browning have all made it into the round of 8. We've got 2 races. That'll be Talladega and the Roval to decide who will go to the championship 4. Right now, Cronenwet with an 11-point lead, some bonus points from last round's wins. So hopefully we'll see it close up a little bit, but the bottom 4 all even. Lacey, McCarthy, and Clark only 2 points up, 1 point up right now in that final 4 spot. So all 4 of those 4 teammates up there, Lacey, McCarthy, Clark, and Browning, all in the top 8. So they're top 4 on the board right now in speed as we get ready to go to qualifying. And we'll see who's the first car out to try and tame this big 2.5 mile track. And iRacing has redone the draft package for these cars. And it's a lot better, in my opinion. We're going to get a lot of side-by-side racing, no doubt. John Anderson, he's about to get out there, get rolling. Adam Brown, and then number 9, first out on track. And a Goodwrench Service Plus Chevrolet. Got that number pushed forward, of course. Looks pretty good. Garrett Fox in the 85. He's getting up to speed. A lot of cars out on track already. Gary Cronenwet in the 88. Right now, our point leader. Wesley Jeanette out there as well, and that number 74. And he is one of our playoff 8. James Fox in the 58, getting up to speed, coming around for his first lap. Simon Grills in the 8. Eliminated last round, but still out there fighting for what he can. And that Patriot Auto Solutions Chevrolet, today's race sponsor, the Patriot Auto Solutions 250. And he'll run that high lane trying to build up as much speed as he can. We'll see who's the first to cross the line. Looks like it's probably going to be Adam Brown. And he's still running that top line. He's going to probably not have a first lap that's very fast, but his second lap should be a lot quicker as he's going to head down to the bottom lane. 54.7 for Adam Brown. Cronenwet, 54.1 on his first lap. Now he'll head down to the bottom line. James Fox will move up second quickest. And John Anderson in third quickest. Garrett Fox 5th, and Simon Grills now up to 5th. Bumps Garrett Fox down. Right on that yellow line through 3 and 4. Back down the front straight. Through the trial and across the line. First one across the line is going to be Adam Brown. And he'll move up to third quickest. Cronenwet quicker on his first lap, it looks like. Yeah, slightly quicker. James Fox quicker on his first lap as well. Anderson a little better on his second lap. Garrett Fox will move up to fourth quickest. Simon Grills hold on to that sixth position. Wesley Jeanette will move all the way up to second and almost takes the top spot. Jason Blaney in that number 22, he'll roll out onto the speedway. As he begins to get up to speed. William Bartholomew in the 15. And Matthew Montgomery out there as well. His car's shifting up through, got 5 gears. That's a little bit different than years past, but his driver's getting used to it. Quinn Clark coming out onto the speedway. And there's Landon Lacey, fastest in practice. Getting up as much speed as he can right against that outside wall. Oh, well, Jason Blaney tags that outside wall right there. This lap will probably not count as he is right against it. Lacey choosing to run that outside line. Just shifted up again, looks like. And there comes Nathan Lyon in that Duracell car, number 33, out onto the speedway to get up to speed for his qualifying lap. Bartholomew will move up to 8th quickest. Montgomery now working his second lap. "17 competitors for tonight's race." Montgomery back through the tri-oval. Let's see where he lines up. Quentin Clark, 10th quickest on his first lap. And Montgomery, 9th quick. Let's see where Landon Lacey's on his second lap. Running right on that bottom line now. Brandon Browning up to 3rd fastest, almost takes the pole. Lacey 8th quick. Quentin Clark 4th fastest. So a couple of teammates there side by side on the starting grid. We'll see if anybody comes up and separates them. But Brandon Browning in 3rd, Quentin Clark in 4th. Nathan Lyon back down the back stretch. Kayla McCarthy getting up to speed on her first lap. Brayton Lasser in the 13. The only driver yet to hit the racetrack is Joseph Peters. Kayla McCarthy back down the backstretch. Nathan Lyon comes across in 10th quickest. And Kayla McCarthy, 5th quick. Right there with her teammates, Brandon Browning and Quentin Clark. So when it comes to our playoff drivers, first, Gary Cronowet. Second is Wesley Jeanette. Third is Brandon Browning. Fourth, Quentin Clark. Fifth is Kayla McCarthy. Sixth is James Fox. Garrett Fox is in 8th. And Landon Lacey rounds out our top 8 playoff drivers in 10th. See if Kayla McCarthy improves her position at all on that second lap. Slightly slower second time around. No one else out on the track right now. Brayton Lasser chose to pull it in. So qualifying over, we will head to the main event. Gary Cronowet's going to be your pole sitter. Our drivers begin to grid in. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineup. On the pole, first in the points, first on the starting grid, the number 88 of Gary Cronowet. Starting on the second position, the outside pole, Wesley Jeanette in the number 74. In that third position is Brandon Browning, the number 48. Starting in 4th is Quentin Clark in the number 94. Starting in 5th position, Kayla McCarthy in the number 24. James Fox will start 6th in the number 58. Adam Brown on the number 9. He'll start 7th position. Garrett Fox in the 85. He's going to start in the 8th spot tonight. John Anderson in the 56. He'll start 9th. Landon Lacey, fastest in practice, 10th on the qualifying grid. Number 33 of Nathan Lyon, he'll start in 11th position. Simon Grills in the number 8, he'll start 12th. That of Patriot Auto Solutions Chevrolet. William Bartholomew in the number 15, he'll start in 13th spot. Matthew Montgomery will start 14th in the number 2. Jason Blaney in the 22. He'll start 15th. Brayton Laster in the 17th position. And Joseph Peters right behind him. And that will be your starting grid for tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's race info. 78 degrees outside, 2.65 miles for one lap around this racetrack. The track temp currently at 101 degrees. As these drivers are preparing for a wild race tonight. Gary Cronowet ready to lead us down, ready to get this round of 8 started. We're rolling around, waiting. Drivers preparing for what's going to be an exciting race tonight, 94 laps. Our stages tonight will be lap 30 to the end of stage 1. End of stage 2 will be lap 60, and then we'll run all the way to lap 94. Pace car off. Now we're just waiting for that green flag. Green flag in the air for the flagman. The green flag's now waving. We're underway here at Talladega. As they head into turn one, side by side, or 2x2 for the entire length of the field. This new draft package that iRacing's put together, I guess NASCAR put it together and iRacing has put it inside the simulator. It is working very well. There's going to be side-by-side racing all night long, as right now Wesley Jeanette trying to find his way down to the inside line. He's going to clear Cronenwet. He's going to come around trying to lead lap one, but Quentin Clark with a big run on the high lane. High lane building up a lot of momentum. They'll come across the line. Looks like Quentin Clark will lead lap one. Two by two, the entire field. Clark trying to get enough of a run. Maybe he can get down as well. Right now, Cronenwet pushing Wesley Jeanette to stay out front. That bottom line working a little better than they were the last lap. Looks like we maybe have a third line forming, the 85 of Garrett Fox. He moves up to the outside front of McCarthy. Now she's going to move down and try and get back up here with Quentin Clark, her teammate. And we are 3 wide here at Talladega. And that's costing these guys time, a lot of time, as this front group already out to single file. Wesley Jeanette trying to get as many laps led as he can. Quentin Clark now back out to the outside. Some momentum for the outside lane. Brandon Browning, their teammate, moves up. And now the inside losing members. Oh, a stack up on the outside line causes Landon Lacey to have to go out to his own. He does get back into line though. The 56 of John Anderson now leading the outside lane. Another stack up. Lacey about gets sideways. Looks like James Fox may have given him a little bumper there. Came up on him a little quicker than he expected. Browning maybe looking for a way around John Anderson, as here comes Blaney up. He's going to try and lead the outside line. Right now, Jeanette still out front. Cronenwet in second. Now William Bartholomew is going to jump out to lead the outside line. Everyone gets up there and tries to make a move, but right now the inside line seems to be working a lot better than the top side. The outside line beginning to fizzle. Only 4 cars left up there. Brayton Laster has lost the draft, and that's going to be detrimental for his day-to-day unless we get a caution so that he can catch back up. You've seen just how far behind he is, and also Nathan Lyon and James Fox stuck out here by themselves, not running the same lap times as all these other drivers in the draft. Right now, Cronenwet just seems to be content staying right behind Wesley Jeanette. Joseph Peters up 13 positions. He moves up to the high lane. Try and gain a few more. Peters started in the last position. His car says 78, but he is scored as the number 19. Second car in the outside line pushing the 2 of Matthew Montgomery. Now everyone kind of abandons them. But Joseph Peters drove all the way up through the field and gained 13 spots. He'll be one to watch later on in this race. Adam Brown running in that third position, hanging right with Cronenwet and Wesley Jeanette. And these cars, they provide big runs. It's just that you need friends to go with you. You can't go up there by yourself. But right now, that 88 of Cronenwet jumps up in front of Grills, and he's going to take the lead and get back down in front of Wesley Jeanette as they cross the line. Simon Grills going to lead the lap, though. I think Grills is going to head to the inside line. He's trying to help Garrett Fox get down in front of Cronenwet, but he's not going to make it. Now it's even, 5 on 5. Simon Grills down the inside. Garrett Fox going to be able to get by and lead a lap here. Grills moves up the track to try to get a side draft. Garrett Fox looks like he may move to the inside. He will. He'll lead that inside line. That leaves Bartholomew, Anderson, and Peters up on the outside line alone. Bartholomew peeks the nose out front. Anderson now trying to clear and get back down to the inside line. Seems like the outside line has a lot of momentum. Cronenwet's dropped all the way back to 9th. John Anderson out front as we see the 13 came in for a pit stop. Several drivers hitting that, going ahead and getting their fuel already. These four have already come in and stopped. All teammates, Kayla McCarthy, Landon Lacey, Brandon Browning, and Quentin Clark all using their pit strategy. Try and stay away from that big pack. Back up front right now, Jason Blaney. As they are 3 wide in the middle of the pack. William Bartholomew in the middle. Adam Brown on the high side. Garrett Fox down low. Cronowet now stuck there on the 3 wide. And Adam Brown on the top side, gonna have to try and get to the bottom and get back in the draft. 58 of James Fox is now out there by himself as Nathan Lyon has chosen to pit. Right now, the fastest cars on the racetrack are these 4 cars that pitted by quite a bit, by a couple of seconds almost, at least over a second a lap faster than this big group that's choosing to race hard. So that pit strategy paying off as these drivers working well together. So when everyone else pits, they should have a little bit of a lead on the pack. We'll see. Now this large pack starting to get in line. Here comes Adam Brown. And here comes some takers down pit lane. Garrett Fox. Simon Grills, Gary Cronenwet, and Joseph Peters all come down the pit lane together. Everyone else choosing to stay out, and this is when we'll get a decent look at when some of these other drivers will come out compared to those 4 as they're already coming around to the pit lane. Bartholomew still out front. Some more takers in the pit lane. John Anderson, Jason Blaney comes down. Wesley Jeanette and Matthew Montgomery all down the pit lane this lap. That leaves William Bartholomew and Adam Brown out there by themselves. And now we'll get to see just how much of an advantage. Here comes these 4, McCarthy, Lacey, Browning, and Clark. And then Garrett Fox way back here with the other 2 that pitted with him. The 19 had a bit of an issue in pit lane and went a lap down. And there's Wesley Jeanette, who led a lot of this race, just now coming out of the pit lane. He's going to be a ways behind. There comes Bartholomew in by himself. Adam Brown will stay out and lead a lap. And he's going to be losing a lot of time racing side by side with that 33. But he will be scored our leader. But in second right now, Caleb McCarthy. This group of four, they've got a large lead, like we believed would happen. You see just how much of a lead that is. We'll take a look from, you see him up in the distance. And this is from Garrett Fox. You can barely see those leaders up way off in the distance. So that pit strategy worked exactly how they wanted it to, maybe even better than they had even imagined, as they have looks like a 6-second lead over the second group. Ron Wett at the tail end of the second group. Then Wesley Jeanette's a long ways back. At 13 and Brayton Lasser already one lap down. Looks like he may be having some connection issues that he is battling right now. Adam Brown still on the racetrack, has not pitted yet. Maybe hoping for a caution or something here. We've got 10 laps to the end of the stage. When will Adam Brown choose to come down the pit lane? Working well with Nathan Lyon is right now the last car on the lead lap. And they'll pass by William Bartholomew and put him one lap down. Right now, Bartholomew, Peters, James Fox, Brayton Lasser all one lap down. The 8 of Simon Grills back down the pit lane. Some sort of issue for the number 8. Not sure what's going on with his car. To see Quentin Clark, as long as with his other teammates up here ways away, they're running down Adam Brown, but they're not going to catch him before the end of the stage. But that number 9 is going to have to pit. Probably within the next couple of laps. He is racking up those laps led with this strategy. McCarthy's going to be the leader once that number 9 chooses to come down the pit lane. And they have pulled out to a 12-second lead over the second group. So these four working so well together. They came out of the pits 6 seconds ahead of that second group. Now they've doubled that to 12 seconds and increasing. And there goes Brown into the pit lane for his pit stop. He's back out, fuel only for the 9. So Kayla McCarthy will now be the leader as she's putting some drivers a lap down. James Fox, Joseph Peters. And James Fox is going to want to catch Joseph Peters if he can get into this draft. But I think he may have lost it. That'll be the race for the lucky dog. So these four working well together, and the thing is, if they can finish 1, 2, 3, 4, both these stages and the race, then they're going to give themselves a very good chance at being the final four for that championship race and sort it out among teammates. That would be incredible to have 4 drivers on the same team in that final four, but they will have to go through the Roval next week. So that strategy of getting out there by themselves, didn't know how well it would work, but man, this is an incredible run. Garrett Fox and Gary Cronowet battling for the 5th and 6th position. They're reeling in Simon Grills up ahead of them, who is a lap down. Wesley Jeanette in 7th, Jason Blaney right behind him. John Anderson and Matthew Montgomery round out your top 10 right now as we're getting down to the closing laps in stage 1. This group of 4 is working to try and catch the front group of 4. They're going to reel them in. Look at the run they've got. They're going to head to the outside line to try and get around. John Anderson a little hesitant. That may slow him down. Garrett Fox moves to the outside lane to try and block the momentum. He'll try and take that line away and go around Simon Grills. Oh, Blaney with some damage on the front nose. There was some contact to the 74. And they're now 3 wide back here. And this is all the battle for 5th position as our front 4, 18-second advantage over this group. Oh, Blaney and Cronowet goes sideways. Blaney wrecks. Caution on the speedway. That's probably going to be the end of stage. The 2 of Matthew Montgomery with a hard contact into the outside wall. And they were racing hard. See if we can see this contact between Cronenwet and Blaney. Just what happened there. To go down to the corner, Cronenwet down below the apron, below that yellow line. May have been kind of getting pushed there, but he comes up the track after he's trying to get back onto the speedway. And right into the door of the 22, who goes sideways as he comes up the track. 56 avoids him, but the 2, his teammate, a hard hit to the outside wall. Blaney has to take it directly to the pit lane. And they'll go spinning around. So let's take a look at your stage results. Caleb McCarthy will win the stage. Landon Lacey second. Brandon Browning in third. Quentin Clark fourth position. In fifth is Garrett Fox, still trying to catch the lead group. Gary Cronenwet sixth position. Seventh is John Anderson. Eighth is Wesley Jeanette. Ninth, Matthew Montgomery, who stayed on the track, and Adam Brown right behind. Looks like they're actually going to stay out so that they can get that stage point. Cronenwet, John Anderson both pull in, so crossing the line, Caleb McCarthy will be your stage winner. Landon Lacey second. Brandon Browning in the third position. Fourth will be Quentin Clark. Fifth, Garrett Fox. Sixth is Wesley Jeanette. Seventh, Matthew Montgomery, who's still out on the track. Then Gary Cronenwet pitted, but he'll come back out onto the speedway. And eighth, looks like we're waiting for the next one to roll out. John Anderson out of the pit lane will end up in ninth, and it should be Adam Brown in 10th. Yeah, he'll roll out onto the speedway, so Adam Brown in the 10th position. So an incredible strategy. We'll have to see if they choose to do that in the second stage. That worked so well. They were getting overcast. Don't think it'll rain. But Caleb McCarthy and Landon Lacey, Brandon Brown, and Quentin Clark, a phenomenal strategy. They chose to pit early, short pit, and then get out front, and I think they're going to try and do the same thing. They should be able to make it, if they can just make it 5 or 6 laps on fuel, that should make it to the end of the stage. Let's see if they come down. They will come down to top off with fuel. So Caleb McCarthy leads them in. Landon Lacey in the pit lane as well. Brandon Browning, Quentin Clark, Garrett Fox, Wesley Jeanette all come in, as well as Simon Grills, who is a lap down. So that'll put Matthew Montgomery in the lead with a very damaged race car. Interesting strategy from the number 2. Gary Cronowit up there on the outside. We'll see what kind of a move that he can make. We're rolling down the backstretch, getting ready for stage number 2 here in the Patriot Auto Solutions 250. Gary Cronowit the second spot. Matthew Montgomery your leader. John Anderson's made his way up to third. Adam Brown, some pit strategy puts him up to fourth. And those drivers that just came in the pit lane, they're going to have to hurry up to get back up to the pack because they're about to go green. And now that time, Matthew Montgomery will come down with the with the pace car. That'll put Gary Cronowit now in charge of the restart. When will he choose to go? I think they both kind of went at the same time. John Anderson and Gary Cronowit side by side across the line. And there was a big long line of cars now. Everyone's stretched out into one straight line with that restart. You see everybody back, and those cars that were working together earlier are kind of stretched out. They're trying to get back together. And now they are indeed back together. McCarthy, Lacey, Browning, and Clark. Gary Cronowit out front, though. He's trying to score some points by leading laps. John Anderson making himself known, making a name for himself out there tonight, running in the second spot. He has been up front for a majority of this race. Right there in that front group, Adam Brown's in third. You see that 13 of Brayton Laster up there with this group, but he is 2 laps down, so he's going to need to get one of these laps back the hard way. Try and find his way around the leader as Cronowit moves to the outside, and that's going to cost him his spot as he was trying to draft the 33. They're 3 wide for the lead. And now John Anderson has taken that lead position. Brayton Laster, the pusher on the inside. He's 1 lap down, actually 2 laps down for Laster. He and Line down the outside, the 33, both 2 laps down, trying to get around the leader to try and have a shot at it as Lions push Cronowit back out front. These drivers did have a little bit of a lead, but Caleb McCarthy is bringing the second group right up to the front group. Several lap down cars in this front group. Now they're starting to get back in line. .58 not able to get in. Now he'll have room. So several different leaders tonight. A lot of cars have led several laps. John Anderson out there working on his third or fourth lap led right here. By 58 of James Fox in the back of this group, but he is running in the fourth position as this front group, only 4 lead lap cars in it. Everybody else is at least 1 lap down or 2 laps down. Who can make a move on Anderson, or will they stay in this line? It looks like they are actually gaining time on the second group as they have Caleb McCarthy and their group has dropped back, kind of got separated there. Some of the other ones chose to pass them. Now they're 3 wide. Bartholomew in the middle. McCarthy will take the lead spot of her teammate group again as Landon Lacey drops down. Blaney 1 lap down on the outside, trying to pass by the inside line. Oh, as they're almost touching door to door, Fox and Brown. This new draft package is kind of tricky, but these drivers have navigated it very well. 40 laps in, only 1 caution, and that was right as the stage was about to end. So we were about to get a caution anyway. A lot of clean driving tonight. John Anderson's hanging on to that lead, and this front group pulling away from everyone from 5th on back, as these drivers back here kind of getting really racy. And there comes the teammate group. Using this strategy that they used in the first round. McCarthy, Lacey, Browning, and Clark will all come down the pit lane. And I think they're just going to get fuel only. They don't need much fuel to get to the end of the stage to fill it back up, because they've only been out there a few laps. So a much shorter pit stop when they short pit like that. Looks like McCarthy actually has some damage to her rear bumper from getting pushed. The lead group already back through the tri-oval and across the line. John Anderson will lead another one. 42 laps in of 94. We're looking for lap 60 for the end of stage 2. Maybe we can show you what kind of runs that these cars are getting. who look from the inside of a James Fox car. You hear him out of the throttle quite a bit. The run's just so heavy. And you can't see, if you notice, you know that there's 6 cars in front of him, but he can only see one of them, and that's the cars directly in front of him. You see that run, he had to take it to the high lane. As Garrett Fox and William Bartholomew also in the pit lane, they're coming back out. They're trying to get hooked back up with Caleb McCarthy in that group. Simon Grills there with him, and looks like the 33 of Nathan Lyon all pit together. And here comes that group of 4. They'll stay on the outside. Garrett Fox is going to be able to get up in front of them. Oh, Simon Grills to the inside. Everyone has to check up there. And they all stack up, and that big run that they had going is murdered by Simon Grills. And now they'll have to try and get back together. Browning separated from the group. Simon Grills will stay out in front of this pack, and if he can do that, if he can stay out and lead this group, when they had made a lot of time earlier, I don't think they wanted other people to pit with them. Now Wesley Jeanette down the pit lane all to his lonesome. We'll see how quick his pit stop is. I don't think he's going to make it out in front. No, here comes that group already. And the group of 4 teammates will all clear and get back down to the inside, and we'll see how well they work together, and maybe they can actually separate themselves from this other group, Garrett Fox included. I think if I was Garrett Fox, I'd just be trying to tag along to that 48 and just ride. You saw how well that this group did in the first round, or in this first stage, excuse me. Still up front, yet to pit, John Anderson, Gary Cronowet, first and second. John Anderson has led a lot of laps. And once again, McCarthy, that group, a little bit quicker this time, not as much faster as they had been on the last run, but they are gaining about 0.3 a lap. They were gaining over a second lap last time. So this group working a little bit better together. And that lap they did gain an entire second, so they are reeling them in and win this top 4 pits. That's going to be difficult for them to try and get out in front. They are just so fast, those 4 working together. And having Garrett Fox in the line as well is actually probably going to make them a little bit quicker as they go around. And there they come. John Anderson leads them in. The 13 of Laster locks it up. I don't know if he made pit speed or not. We'll see. Adam Brown down as well, as they are 3 wide down the pit lane. Gary Cronway at the 88 trying to get back to that outside. Garrett Fox in. And we'll see where they stack up against the other group that pitted, as we've got 12 laps to the end of the stage. Fuel only. There they go. They're rolling out. The 13 of Laster. He did not speed as he rolls out first, and that may help him in getting one of his laps back if he can stay out in front. John Anderson's still in the pit lane. He's just now coming out. There's McCarthy. Blaney was one of them with that group. They're around him already. And it looks like Adam Brown and Gary Cronowet are going to be out in front of this group. Garrett Fox used to go down with James Fox. Oh, they're getting close back there. Not sure Garrett made the right decision there, as this 4-car tandem of McCarthy, Lacey, Clark, and Browning have been extremely fast. And they are still tagged up with them, so no harm, no foul. But Gary Cronowet, he works his way around Adam Brown. They don't have anybody really working with him. Laster is now out front. He is essentially 2 laps down. He's trying to get one of those laps back right now. He's 1 lap down if he can stay out in front of these leaders. But the pack is coming in hot. Kayla McCarthy leads them around as they're catching our front 2. And they are already up on the high lane, getting ready. Adam Brown tries to take it. He's going to block down to the inside line. And that's going to separate our group of 4. McCarthy up there, Lacey up there. Clark's trying to get back to the high lane. James Fox with a big run takes it up the middle, 3 wide. And this is exactly what Gary Cronowet was wanting to see. That group of 4 gets separated. This pack of cars trying to not let those 4 work together, as they are wanting into this final 4 as well. Adam Brown, a big move, separates them all, and he remains in his position. And here comes Garrett Fox in the high lane. He and James Fox working together, trying to get by. Those 4 team cars still up on the outside, the Filthy 5. And they're going to try and take it 3 wide. Up on the 3rd lane, Garrett and James Fox will move all the way up there and get in front of them and try and break their momentum. It seems like it's everybody against those 4 right now. James Fox will have to drop to the bottom. And all this working in favor for Gary Cronowet, still out front. Peters drops back. Now this 4 will move to the bottom. Can they find their way around with only 7 laps remaining to the end of the stage? Everyone back down to the inside. Right now they're 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And they're going to be side by side. This is not going to help them, as they are maybe losing the draft. Interesting call for a couple of those drivers to move to the high lane. Cronowet and Brown, this is exactly what they need. The two Foxes, James Fox and Garrett Foxes. There goes Adam Brown to the inside wall. A hard hit. No caution, we stay green. He'll roll back out onto the racing surface. And that car is destroyed. You see it smoking. Oh, and Simon Grills. He and Simon Grills come together. Looked like Brown had come out of the corner and gotten a little bit high. And as he was trying to get back into line, just come across the nose of Simon Grills and to the inside wall. A hard hit for that number 9 blown engine. And we remain green flag racing as the 9 tries to limp it into pit lane. 56, John Anderson, who had such a good run here. 25 seconds now off the lead. He should stay on the lead lap until we get to the end of the stage, but looks like he may have taken 4 tires. Everyone else with just a set, just fuel only. Garrett Cronowet still out front. These cars screaming by. Garrett Fox once again with an aggressive move to the high lane. Nathan Lyon moves to the inside. He's going to get separated, and now he's going to be stuck behind Bartholomew. So that aggressive move for Garrett Fox did not pay off, and he will drop back. Oh, they're 4 wide, bouncing back and forth. Bartholomew up against the outside wall, and that's going to hurt him some more. That's Bartholomew 1 lap down now with damage. Garrett Fox trying to hold on to this lead group. We'll see if he's got too much damage to keep up. He and Bartholomew bouncing back and forth. Cronowet doing his best to keep himself in the lead, but here comes Brandon Browning. That group of 4 teammates up on the outside. Landon Lacey, such a good pusher. They're all going to go right by on the outside lane. They'll all drop in, including Garrett Fox. And that leaves Cronowet way back there. So it's an incredible run from those 4 teammates. Landon Lacey with a huge push. These 4 work so well together, and now they're going to try and pull away as we've only got a couple of laps remaining in the stage. Head down the backstretch. Here comes Garrett Fox. He's going to make his move to the outside. Cronowet right behind him. Laster, who was trying to get one of his laps back, is now fallen off from the front group, trying to get caught back up. James Fox has lost the draft. Two laps to go in stage 2. Quentin Clark has kind of dropped back. 3-car tandem up front. And it looks like they will pass Wesley Jeanette to put him a lap down. Now that's going to have championship implications. He's going to stay right in the middle. And he's got to stay in front of Simon Grills. He's got 1 lap to do it. And that will be for the free pass. Wesley Jeanette's going to have to get back by us. We've got one lap here in the stage. Browning, Lacey, and McCarthy, 1, 2, 3. Cronowet trying to force his way back into the inside line. He'll get in. Trying to create a run. Garrett Fox moves up. Quentin Clark stays with his teammates. Here comes Cronowet. Grills will go with him. And Jeanette has got to find a way around Simon Grills to get that lap back. Can he get there? He's right there. Brandon Browning will come around and he will win stage 2. Simon Grills will be the free pass car, so Brandon Browning will win the stage. Second will be Landon Lacey. Third, Garrett Fox. Fourth, Garrett Cronowet. Fifth will be Kayla McCarthy. Sixth is Quentin Clark. Seventh is James Fox. Eighth is John Anderson. Ninth, Simon Grills. And 10th is Wesley Jeanette. These drivers coming around to catch the pace car. Want to take this time, give a shout out to some of our sponsors as our drivers are catching the pace car for pit stops. Gadgit Solutions, they are the main sponsor for this Next Gen Cup Series. They provide IT services support throughout Central Indiana. Go to GadgetSolutions.com to check out Gadgit Solutions. Make sure you do that as they have supported this Next Gen Cup Series league on iRacing. Cronowet Motorsports, Gary Cronowet, he's up there in the 4th position. They're an ARCA street stock race team out of Taylor, Michigan. They run some ARCA series cars out of the CMS stable, so make sure you go check out Cronowet Motorsports on Facebook, and at Flat Rock Speedway and Toledo Speedway, go check out Cronowet Motorsports iRacing Extreme Figure 8 Racing. Been able to call a couple of races for those guys, and it is extremely entertaining. So go check the iRacing Extreme Figure 8 Racing out on Facebook. Maybe you can get in some of those events if you have iRacing. Right now, our drivers are coming down pit lane. Brandon Browning will lead them in. First one in, Brandon Browning will see 4-tire pit stop for the 48. So Simon Grills, Joseph Peters, and William Bartholomew already back out onto the speedway as they're going to try and get their laps back. Jeanette stuck one lap down. Garrett Fox will be the first one out and back onto the speedway. Garrett Fox and James Fox will be 1-2 on this next restart. And we are in the Patriot Auto Solutions 250. We're about to start this third stage, but go check out Patriot Auto Solutions. They are your one-stop shop for all automotive refinishing needs, specializing in vehicle customization like aftermarket color matching. Look no further if you are seeking paint and refinishing needs in or around the state of Indiana. Our shop is home to over 10 years of automotive knowledge, repair, and refinishing experience. For more information, visit our Instagram or Facebook page at Patriot Auto Solutions. Patriot Auto Solutions sponsoring today's event, the Patriot Auto Solutions 250. Some of those drivers that I thought were going to take the wave around have chosen to go ahead and pit here. One driver that is going to take the wave around is Brayton Laster in that number 13. As the lights are out on the pace car, and there he goes around. Brayton Laster Motorsports, the professional dirt super late model race team, is Central Indiana. After starting racing at the age of 8 in go-karts, Brayton now looks to take on dirt tracks across the Midwest. For more team and schedule information, visit us on Facebook at Brayton Laster Motorsports. The Brayton Laster Motorsports. And last on the docket for the night, Tunney's Auto Service, offering a variety of services including tires, brakes, and oil changes. Our main priority is to work with you and give you the best service experience possible. Whether we slash prices, match another price, or bring the service to you, we'll do what we can to make life easier for you. And you can check out Tunney's Auto Service at www.tunneysauto.com. And of course, our Victory Lane sponsor, Lefevre's Curbing. We'll have them up on the screen when we settle this thing. So Garrett Fox will be your leader. Can he pull it off and get into that Lefevre's Curbing victory lane? "30 laps to go." Will we see that pit strategy pay off that we've seen the team cars do earlier? And green flag, we're back underway. Garrett Fox leads them down to the line, and they're going to get a big jump. James Fox doesn't want to get in line, wants to try to get out in front of Garrett Fox, and it looks like he may do that. John Anderson with a big run, running in the third position. I believe he came in and took fuel only. And we see those team cars drop to the inside. They're going to go to the back. Trying to let everyone back by. And I think this whole strategy comes down to Landon Lacey. As he has just been an incredible pusher. This team seems to be about a second quicker a lap when Landon Lacey is in that second spot in line and pushing the lead car. Everyone else just kind of along for the ride. He has been an incredible pusher. Right now he's fourth in line. We'll see if they kind of shuffle him back up to second. James Fox, though, right now your leader. And of course, Simon Grill's up to the outside. He and Cronenwet trying to get by Blaney. Every time cars get out and make it double file. That slows the whole group down, and that's allowing the 48 and that group to just maintain their distance back there and stay in a straight line. See the back group kind of weaving back and forth back there as they're trying to work their way around the 74 of Jeanette. He's got to get back up to the 22 who's in the front group if he wants to get his lap back. If we did have a caution right now, he wouldn't get it. And this group right now about 0.2 slower than our front group. And we'll see if that changes, but right now not really able to catch them at all. Now this front group doing a good job of just staying in line. Trying to separate themselves as much as possible from the group that has just been so fast. Browning, Clark, McCarthy, and Lacey back there. A 3-second advantage right now. And how short will that team pit? We've seen them short pit every stage, as we're down to 25 laps to go. And we'll take a quick look at the pit strategy. Browning, Clark, and McCarthy. Looks like they're going to be trying to make it about 22 to go. But they're probably going to want to make sure they have enough for a green-white checker. So maybe with around 20 laps to go, we're going to see those drivers pit. Everybody kind of running the same speed right now. The second group is not reeling them in, not really losing any time. Still 3.29 seconds the difference. Back to that second group, it stayed within a tenth for the last several laps. This front group just doing a great job of just staying in line, riding. We've got a couple drivers in the pit lane. Looks like Brayton Lasser will head down. Looks like we saw maybe the two as well come in, Matthew Montgomery. They'll both come in and top off with fuel and have enough to the end. They, I believe, took a wave around that last time around to try and get one of their laps back. So now they're working together to try and stay out and on the lead lap. Two packs right now. The top four is in the first group. James Fox is your current leader. Second is Garrett Fox. Third, John Anderson. Then there's Jason Blaney, who's a lap down. Then Gary Cronowet in fourth. The other two cars, Simon Grills, Nathan Lyon, both a lap down in this front group. Then we go back. Actually, Simon Grills is on the lead lap. He took a wave around last time, so Simon Grills in fifth on the lead lap in that Patriot Auto Solutions Chevrolet. Then we've got Brandon Browning leading this second group with Quentin Clark, Kayla McCarthy, and Landon Lacey all on the lead lap. Everyone else is at least one lap down. Blaney's in the front group. He's the first car a lap down right now. Trying to find a way to get back around. We see Brayton Laster and Montgomery, who are a lap down. Each pit, and they are getting reeled in by the front group. So very soon we should see this second pack peel off for the pit lane. If they continue the strategy that they've had going. This group has caught about a second up on the lead group, as we've got a couple of these drivers kind of running side by side. Simon Grill's a little bit of a connection issue, but Cronowet, Nathan Lyon, they're probably going to drop back. They're going to have to get back in line. There comes the front group. They're going to be the first to strike. The second group was going to pit. You've seen them start to go in. They chose to go back out onto the pit lane, so that may slow them down. Garrett Fox, Simon Grills is now in the second. James Fox and John Anderson all right there together. And they left Cronowet out there as a 58, had to back into his pit stall. That's going to hurt him. They left Cronowet out there by himself. We'll see what he does. Will he try and get back with the other drivers? He will come down the pit lane. And he has to be aggressive getting in there to try and stay in front of this other group. So now up front, Kayla McCarthy, Landon Lacey has moved back into that second spot, into the pusher position. Brandon Browning back to third, Quentin Clark in fourth. So now they're just going to try and gain as much time as they can on the group that's already pitted. So you saw them start to go in as the other group came in last second. So they kind of stole their strategy here. So this is having to flip the script on this group. And we'll see, they are quite a bit faster than those that pitted. Actually looks like they may have gotten separated. Gary Cronowet's out there by himself. Then you've got John Anderson, Garrett Fox, Simon Grills all together. So not sure what Cronowet did, but he came out of the pit lane way ahead of the other group. See, you can't even see them behind them. There they are coming into the screen. There's only 2 of them. The 58 of James Fox is a ways behind them. He and Simon Grill's working together. And this group's going to have to get back and reform, or else this front group is just going to blow their doors off. When they come into pit, they're going to come out way ahead. So McCarthy, the leader right now, she'll lead another lap. 15 to go here at Talladega. And they are over a second lap, almost 2 seconds a lap quicker than the group that stayed out because they got all broke up. So it was an interesting strategy to try and steal the strategy of this group. And I think as long as these 4 are gaining time, then they're going to stay out. The other group did get together, as we see. Cronwet trying to be the pusher, but they're up a lane for some reason. Garrett Fox, the leader of this group. And James Fox is just not able to keep up. Can he stay in that draft? Yeah, I think he's going to be able to stick up there with him. There for a second, it looked like he may have been a lost cause, but he will get back in with the group. And these drivers are 42.5 seconds, and that distance is climbing to the lead group. When will they pit? They still have to come down to top off with fuel. They'll have to make sure that when they come in, they've got all those things set right. Which, you know, if you're Caleb McCarthy and Landon Lacey, you know, this, let's take a look. This is the inside view of Landon Lacey's car. Now, he's right there on the bumper of Caleb McCarthy. When these drivers come in, they don't want to take a full load. They don't want to take 4 tires. iRacing kind of automatically sets that every time. So they're going to want to make sure that they set that fuel right. They want to take the right amount of gallons. I'm sure they're talking about that as a team, how much to take. But you know, it depends on what kind of setup you've got on your wheel, your buttons, if you're having to use a mouse and a keyboard to try and reach over and set those parameters for what you want your pit stop to be. And when you're locked in like Landon Lacey, that's difficult to do. And Michaela McCarthy, she's having to hold that car straight so that when Landon is pushing her, that she's not getting squirrely and sideways. So it takes a lot of focus. A lot of people think Talladega is super easy, but when you're real fast at these super speedways and you're doing this tandem style draft, bump draft, you are 100% focused on the task at hand. We are nearing 10 to go. When will these drivers pit? We believe they'll have at least one more or two more laps of fuel. No one's made it more than 22 laps on a stint tonight. Actually, Laster made it 24 laps and Montgomery made it 24 laps, but there was a caution in there. So these drivers should have to pit this time around. Then we'll see how things are going to shake out. And we'll see, will they pit this time in? No, they're going to stay out at least one more. 10 to go. They're coming to single digits, and they are pulling away another 2/10 that last lap. Actually, Garrett Fox and them were a 10th quicker last time around, so they're trying their best to reel them back in, at least put pressure on this pit stop. That last time by, Garrett Fox and that group were 2/10 quicker than our leaders. Looks like they may be separating here. Are they coming down? They are down the pit lane. They all get in pretty quick. I think they all made it on speed. Lacey with a great run in. They've all got to make sure they set their fuel to the right amount, and they all stay the same so that they can all come out together. McCarthy out, Lacey out. There they all come out together. Fantastic job on the pit. Now let's see how well they get back up to speed and where the other group is. They're not quite exactly together, but they will come back together. They've still got 10 seconds on the second group. Oh, and they'll wreck. The 58 of James Fox involved. No caution. The 22 also. And there comes the caution. The 22 with a hard hit to the inside wall. That car all bent up. And now all that pit strategy is now lost. And now it's going to be an exciting finish. And we'll take a look at just what happened there. And that, I don't know, the 58 was awfully close. See if we can get a better look at if they actually made contact. This might be our best look at it. And it was very close. There may have been some net code there. I don't know if the 58 would have touched him or not. That's definitely net code when the cars come together and go through each other. But hard hit for James Fox. Let's take one more look at it. This time from the blimp cam, and we'll play a full speed. See how hard the 58 hit. One more shot at it. This time we'll look from the 58's cockpit and see what he saw. I think he was trying to get a side draft to get around this 22. Not sure that was the time to go. He should have been trying to stay in line and push that line up to the lead group, but either way, that's may pay off for him if he has a faster pair. And he did indeed take that faster pair. Now he'll have to come back around and catch the group in 9th position. Adam Brown will be your free pass car. He'll be back on the lead lap for the first time in quite a while. He's been a lap down for a long part of this race. So we're going to have about a 4-lap shootout when we get going here in the Patriot Auto Solutions 250. Kayla McCarthy will be the leader on the restart. She's going to have Brandon Browning behind her. Quentin Clark on the outside line is going to have Landon Lacey behind him. And we know Lacey, an incredible pusher. That group of 4, though, they're going to want to get in line and work together. I think either way, there was going to be some drama at the end of this one. I do think that second group was going to reel in the lead group. They were closing in without that caution. So we don't know where they would have blended in because the caution came out as they were blending back together. But caution came out at the right time for Kayla McCarthy to hold on to that lead. She'll have control of the restart. And it depends, you know. She's in a voice chat with all of her teammates, first, second, third, and fourth. And she may get out here and, you know, tell her teammates, hey, you know, I'm going 3, 2, 1, let's go. And that whole group would have an advantage to restart a half second quicker than everyone else who has to wait until they see those front cars go. Lights off on the pace car. McCarthy going to choose the inside line. Quentin Clark in the second. So we'll see if the top 4 take a little bit of a jump. It almost seems like they take a jump, but it's because McCarthy's telling them when to go. Then we'll know that's, you know, teamwork together. They've been working so well together this whole race. But McCarthy may choose to go on her own and try and get a lead. But at Talladega, if you get out front too much, you are a sitting duck. So I'd say the best way to go for Kayla McCarthy right now is to work with her team. If they can, I think they got first, second, third, and fourth in both of our stages so far. And right now, 1, 2, 3, 4 in this final stint, coming to the end of the race. So that would be an incredible run for these 4 teammates to get 1, 2, 3, 4. But the thing is, one thing that you've got to think about, even if you are teammates, you know, we're racing to get into the championship 4, and one of these drivers are going to secure their way into that championship 4 tonight by winning this race. So do you push your teammate to a win knowing that, you know, it may cost you a shot at the championship 4 depending on how the Roval goes next week? Because Talladega, you know, they have played it so well. But going to that Roval next week, you know, if you're not a good road course racer, I'm going to be wanting to win this race. I don't care who my teammate is. So Kayla McCarthy out front. We'll watch on the restart. We'll get a good look at all of the top 4 cars. Pace car in. Looks like they're already picking the pace up a little bit. Everyone's staying right on the lead group. And now she goes. And her and Brandon Browning were able to get up together. Quentin Clark and Landon Lacey up on the outside line, but they're going to get up there and work with them. Cronwet trying to push Garrett Fox up on the inside line. The top two will get down and squash that run of the inside line. But that'll hang Clark and Lacey out to dry. Cronwet will move to the outside in front of those other two teammates. That's going to cost him a lot of time. Gary Cronwet drops back now. That's Lacey and Quentin Clark will move their way around. Garrett Fox up on the high lane. He's getting the push from Simon Grills. Here comes Clark and Lacey. Simon Grills trying to block, but they're up there in the third lane, but they are by themselves. 3 wide here at Talladega. Garrett Fox will jump down and take the lead. Wesley Jeanette gets shuffled out. He'll get back out onto the speedway. Fox on the inside line. McCarthy in second. Browning in third. All three on the inside line. Here comes the outside line. Lacey's been the best pusher of the night. He is pushing his teammate Quentin Clark, and they are driving around their other teammates and moving into the first and second spot. No, here comes, oh, there's a big wreck. Cars go spinning. That's Cronwet around. Caution with 3 to go, and we'll have a green-white checker. So some of these drivers may not have enough fuel to make it to the end. We'll have to see, because they all pitted under green and we're just trying to make it to the end, expecting this to go green. So we'll see if all these drivers are going to make it to the end, or will they have to pit. And we'll go back and take a look at this thing. I think it started way back here. Simon Grills was shuffled into the middle. I think he was just trying to get into that bottom line. And he drove it into the inside and, oh, got bumped by the 9, which sent him down below the yellow line. And then the 9 gets sideways again and down into the 8, and he comes up, hits the 2, Cronwet, a hard hit. And really, that's the only one of our playoff drivers that are affected is Cronwet. But he'll have to take his faster pair. I don't believe he's taken it yet. I think his car is still drivable to at least get it back to the pit lane. Cronwet and Montgomery both working together to try and get back to the field. Garrett Fox is your leader. There are no takers to pit lane. And there comes Gary Cronwet. We'll see if he takes that faster pair, if he has one left. I think he does. We'll find out for sure right here. And Cronwet into the pit stall. And he will take that faster pair. So Cronwet, a set of tires. He's going to have a shot at this thing. He'll be right there in 9th. So he's not too far back. So Cronwet, he's not going to have any issue with fuel either. Some of these other drivers, I don't know. I feel like they're going to be close. I'm not sure how much fuel that they took when they pitted, but we'll see if some of them are saving fuel. Yeah, Garrett Fox clutching in and rolling, coasting just as long as he can, but he's in the third gear. I don't know why he wouldn't be running around in fifth. Quentin Clark in fifth, Caleb McCarthy in fourth gear. So some of these drivers saving, some of them not. Looks like Landon Lacey's trying to use up some of his fuel. He wants just enough to make it to the end. Brandon Browning back here, he's rolling around in fifth gear, but nobody really saving hard except for maybe Garrett. Light should go off on the pace car this time around. A green-white checker. This will be our first attempt. And this race has been extremely clean the whole race long. This is only our fourth caution. Two of those were stage cautions. So only a couple of incidents in this race as we're coming down to the final group here. We've got one smoking. I believe that's Adam Brown. Not sure what happened to cause him to blow up. It looks like he may be pulling out of the way. I don't know if he had been blown up before that or not, but he's staying out there and he's on the lead lap, he and Laster. He's just going to try and limp it around and stay in at least 11th. Probably knows that if he pits, he's going to have required repairs. So Garrett Fox will be the control car. 4 teammates behind him, second, third, fourth, and fifth, all team cars. And I think maybe the 9 of Adam Brown may have just blown up completely. No, he's still out there running. Heard something got hit or something back there, but Garrett Fox out front. Behind these 4 team cars are James Fox. So, the outside group is locking the tires up and hitting each other. Simon Grill's up there. And when will our leader choose to go? He may wait for that green flag, try and keep everyone together. And there he goes, green flag, Garrett Fox out front. And he got a huge lead. And he's going to be a sitting duck here. McCarthy shoots to the outside. Now those 4 team cars linked up together on the outside lane. James Fox is going to move to the inside, and Garrett Fox is going to get eaten up in the middle. We're already 3 wide into turn 3. Garrett Fox slipping back. Brandon Browning, your new leader on the outside lane. Caleb McCarthy down low. Lacey has been the best pusher all day. He's pushed Browning into the lead. John Anderson's in the 3rd position. Simon Grill's in 4th. It's Cronenwet and Garrett make contact. James Fox will go around. Several cars crash. Cronenwet, James Fox, Garrett Fox all involved. Those are all drivers looking for a championship berth. Browning and Lacey out front. Will Lacey make a move? He has pushed Browning out to a big lead over Anderson. They'll come off turn 4 and come down the final stretch. Lacey's going to push Browning to a win, it looks like. Lacey won't pull out. Brandon Browning will win the Patriot Auto Solutions 250. Landon Lacey in second. John Anderson will bring it home in third position. Simon Grills in fourth spot. And in fifth, Caleb McCarthy, Quentin Clark right behind. Braden Laster being 2 laps down this entire race. He'll come around and finish in the 7th position ahead of Garrett Fox, Gary Cronowet, James Fox, all involved in that last incident. And Adam Brown, with all that damage, he'll end up in the 11th spot. See Brandon Browning rolling up to the start-finish line. All of them doing burnouts together. All 4 team cars out there. They worked hard to get this win, but Brandon Browning will be the one that gets locked into the next round. Such great teamwork from the whole group. John Anderson going out there and getting his donuts in as well. A great job finishing in the 3rd position. Looks like Brandon Browning may have blown it up. Maybe we can get a word from our top finishers. Let's see. I think John Anderson is enjoying his 3rd place finish. To see if we can get him in the booth. We may have to talk to Landon Lacey first. We'll let John Anderson enjoy his victory lap. See if we can get a word with Landon Lacey, our 2nd place finisher. Hey Landon, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Man, an incredible job by your entire team, but it looked like, to me at least, that, man, you were just incredible out there pushing. Seemed like the whole group was about a second quicker lap when you were second in line. So what does it take to push in these cars, these new next-gen cars, and is it any different than the last cars with this new draft package?
I with the new update, it seems like it's a little bit easier to tandem now. And I knew when these cars first came out, you were able to tandem with them. And me and Brandon, raced in a different league and did the exact same thing. And I kind of felt bad last week. I kind of made a mistake that ended up costing him. And I told him about 3 days ago that if it came down to the end and we can get hooked up, that I would, push him to a win this week. Because I feel really strongly about next week at the Roval, because road courses are very, very strong for me. But yeah, I just wanted to make up for ruining my teammates' race last week.
Well, you've got him locked into the Final Four, and you said you're good at the Roval. You've got certainly a good point lead over that cut line. You like the Roval? Is it any different there with having 5 gears in a sequential box?
Yeah, it's a lot different than, especially from the Gen 6 cars. Um, but I've been working on a lot of stuff there these past couple weeks because I was really looking forward to that race. So I've already got a good amount of time in at the racetrack, so I think it's gonna be a pretty good week for me next week.
So, what do you think your chances are of having you and all your teammates in that Final Four all together and battling it out for championship?
I think we'll definitely get together this week and do some practice. I'll try my best to give uh, Quentin and Kayla some pointers on what they can do and what to look out for. Um, I think the biggest problem is going to be staying off those curbs because those cars do not like the curbs. Uh, not like because with a Gen 6 car you could ride the curbs and do all that and it doesn't really cost you anything. Um, Especially now with the 670 horsepower, you hit one of those curbs and the torque of the car just sends you around. So um, definitely have to give them some pointers. And if we can do all that and have a good week next week, I don't see why we can't have all four of us in the final race.
Well, a great job. You got anybody you'd like to thank after this one, Landon?
Yeah, thanks to sorry, thanks to Edge Setup Shop for everything they do for me. Martin Sports. Thanks to all my teammates at Filthy Five. They did a great job with pit strategy and everything tonight. So shout out to those guys. They did an amazing job. Also, shout out to I already forgot her name. I believe her name is Ann Clark. I want to give her a shout out and wish her a happy birthday. Quentin wanted to finish podium so bad so he could wish her a happy birthday, but we got you covered, Quentin, and happy birthday to your mom.
Well, great job, and I expect to be talking to you there at the end of the Roval next week. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
And that was our second place finisher, Landon Lacey. Let's get a word with our winner, Brandon Browning, and as he pulls his car in right into the Lefevre's Landscape Curbing Victory Lane. Make sure you check out Lefevre's Landscape Curbing. And let's give a ring to Brandon Browning. Hey, Brandon, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. What's going on, Dakota?
Hey, man, an exciting finish there. You all were working the pit strategy so well today, working together as a team. I think you all were going to come out a good distance ahead of that second group there, and then the caution come out. What were your thoughts when that caution come out? And did you think that your team was going to be able to stick together three wide there at one point?
Yeah, I mean, it got crazy for sure. I knew once we pitted early in stage one, we knew that we were going to have a couple people, try to milk the strategy out and stay with us. It almost cost us stage two. We had to really work together in stage two, but we timed it. We figured, we had called lap 10 because we've been pitting 10 laps in. Just making sure we had the right strategy, and we knew, we were coming the lap that everyone else come there at the end, and we saw them coming down, so we just went for it. We just decided to switch it up and run it out, try to get as big of a gap as we could. 42 seconds was our target time because when they had a 42-second lead, we didn't make it back to them until the last second. So we knew if they were going to be catching us, it would be last second. We were just trying to milk all that we could milk out of it. Of course, all the guys at Filthy Five, Kayla, Quentin, Landon, anytime that we can get hooked up and we could do these type of things, it's a team aspect. And unfortunately for a lot of the other teams, they didn't have all of their drivers here tonight. So it just put us at a big advantage from step one.
Yeah, that pit strategy was certainly interesting. What was the decision there to try and, get yourself off sequence? Was it just to try and, get yourself out by yourself? Because there was a lot of chaos sometimes in that big pack.
That's exactly the reason for it. I mean, you hit it 100% on the head. We wanted to be different. We wanted to be where all the other cars weren't. Obviously, the most trust in the race is amongst the four of us with each other. So we knew if we were the four sole cars, whether, we were way behind or we were way ahead, we knew we would be in the best spot. And luckily, we just said, hey, is this something you want to try? We were like, hey, let's try it. And it worked out obviously pretty good at the first stage, a little bit different at the end of stage two, but I mean, I was hoping we stayed green there because I think we were looking at like a 6-7 second lead, and then of course we could have grew that as we went, but the caution fell when it fell.
Well, you're locked into that championship 4, but we've got one more race, and that's the Roval. You and your team worked so well together, top 4 in both of the stages, and you all finished in the top 6 at the end of the race. You're probably going to have a point advantage, a big point advantage going into this Roval. Do you think that all of your teammates come out on the other side into that championship 4?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't want to, go in and make it seem like we're going in with a big head or anything like that. But if there's any guys in this league that I'm absolutely confident in, it's those 3. I know Landon's really good there. Kayla's always quick. And Quentin, of course, Quentin is as fast as could be as well. So obviously all the stage points that we were able to grab tonight's going to help. It kind of, I think we were all close together except for Gary. Gary had an insane last round, so he was kind of ahead. The points tonight, the playoff point or the stage points tonight allowed us to kind of equalize that gap, which is huge. Gary has really, he's been great all year, but he's come on so strong in the playoffs. And we knew, we fully expect if there's anyone that's going to knock a filthy 5 driver out of the final 4, it's going to be that 88.
Yeah, well, a great run and a great victory tonight here at Talladega. You got anybody you'd like to thank after this one?
I do. I've got a few. First and foremost, I want to thank my wife and my little boy for allowing me to do this each and every week, and my other little boy and my daughter as well. They're not here with us this week, but thanks to all of them. A big thank you, of course, to I tell you could search all of iRacing and you won't find a better pusher than the guy driving the 53. I knew where I wanted to be on that final restart. Big shout out to Landon. Him and I have become really, really good friends over the last few years. Shout out to Kayla and Quentin as well. Beautiful race. I mean, it couldn't have went better for us. I mean, we could have took the top 4 spots. But lastly, and I hope she's still watching. I hope she's still with us out there. Happy birthday to Ann Clark, Quentin's mom. It's her birthday today. We were trying to pull Quentin up there and at least get him a podium, maybe steal a win for him. But happy birthday to you. I hope we made it fun for these last couple of hours. And of course, as always, my little boy has surgery coming up on his teeth. They finally scheduled that. It's coming up in a little over 2 weeks. So everybody that prays, just please say a prayer for him that he comes through that, and doesn't have any problems or anything like that. And of course, thank you to the best broadcaster on the planet, Dakota. Thank you for being here each and every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for putting on a show. Y'all make my job awfully easy. And we'll be praying for your son. And hopefully we'll be talking to you next week at the Roval with the left and the right-hand turns. So good job, Brandon.
Hey, I'm going to be a much more excited man if I come up here and talk to you next week, because I am awful on the road courses. I'm just glad that the championship's not on a road course, and I appreciate everyone that takes the time out of their day to say a prayer for my little boy. That's my absolute best friend on this planet.
We appreciate you, Brandon. You have a great one, man. Great job on this victory tonight.
Thank you, you too. Thank you, you too.
And John Anderson never did report to the booth, so don't think we're going to be able to get him in there tonight. He may be already celebrating that top 3 finish. Great job to you tonight, John. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll be back with you next Tuesday night for that Roval cutoff race going into the Final 4. And not only that, but every Sunday morning we are broadcasting the Gathering Place Church on our Throttle Up Racing Network pages. Appreciate all those that have tuned in. Feel free to comment and interact. We'll be talking to you during the service. We appreciate all y'all for tuning in tonight. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Gadgit Solutions and Patriot Auto Solutions. Thanks to everybody for hanging with us on an exciting race. We'll be back with you next week. And until then, y'all have a good one.